It's 9 o'clock. The final hour of Richmond's Morning News with Rich Herrera starts now. Wake up with Rich or play catch up all day. At 9:33, we break all the rules. This is News Radio WRVA.
All the rules. Rules breakers left and right. Super Dave loses his mind. As I blow up the clock, I do anything I want. Right, Super Dave?
I lose my mind over more than just that.
Like what? What do I do that drives you crazy?
I'll make you a list because there's I can't get into everything on the air.
Hey, let's go talk to Michael Greer joining us this morning on Richmond's Morning News. All right, Michael, good morning. Back for a
we're
second.
Breaking all the rules, baby.
Breaking all the rules. Okay, so here's the deal. We only have a couple minutes every morning to talk about all these things that we see in market reports, that we see on cable news, and everybody throws out these numbers like, oh, we all know exactly what all of this stuff means. So I thought maybe we should just take a moment, pump the brakes, take a deep breath, do a little, I don't know, Econ 101 to remind everybody what all these numbers mean, because I've actually never, ever, ever seen anybody in the media that wants to talk about the Dow, the S&P 500, or the NASDAQ to actually explain what any of these things really are. So I'm going to lean on you. So let's start with the Dow, the S&P 500, NASDAQ. We hear them quoted all the time, but what exactly are they?
Yes, good question. So I'll try to be concise this morning. So the Dow is the Dow, S&P, and the NASDAQ are all just indexes that basically measure how a group of stocks are performing, right? So, for example, the Dow, 30 large cap stocks, really big U.S. stocks.
For instance?
So, for instance, I have a list of these. Let's see. Some of the things: 3M, Alphabet, Google, Amazon.
So these are
American
big,
Express.
major companies that should be able to give us an insight of how the economy is doing, how they're doing.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yep. Very much so. And so the S&P, those are, and each of these, like the S&P and the NASDAQ both have separate indexes that can measure a smaller amount or whatever, but we're just talking large,
The big stuff we see on
brushes.
cable TV.
Yep, exactly. S&P 500, it's 500 major U.S. companies. It's broader. So again, remember the Dow is just large cap. There's only 30 in there. The S&P has some tech, has some.
It's more of a cross section.
Cross section, absolutely, and a
then
cross section from the NASDAQ, right? So the NASDAQ's the next one we're looking at, but we'll stick with the S&P. Some examples. There's some crossover, right? So we talked about Apple and Google and some of those. Those are in the S&P as well. But then you have NVIDIA, Microsoft, Broadcom, some of the tech stocks, and it covers a bigger brush, right?
Okay.
Broader brush.
And then NASDAQ leans more towards Silicon Valley.
Yes, yeah, heavily weighted towards technologies. Some of those things, NVIDIA, Apple, Tesla, some of these tech companies that are in there. And it's anywhere from 2,500 to 3,000. And then you have smaller indices at the NASDAQ 100 and yada, yada, right?
Okay.
We don't care
all right,
about
so
that.
let me ask you this question. You ready?
Yes.
When we say the Dow's up 300, but NASDAQ's down 1%, what does that actually mean to the average person?
So some of that, when we're seeing them, part of that is maybe rotating out of. So for example, we have actually seen a lot of that in the last couple of, probably the last month. We've seen NASDAQ going down where the Dow was going up. Some of that can tell us that maybe the market or the big boys, the hedge funds, the mutual fund companies, all those guys are rotating out of tech. Say they feel like, hey, maybe these are we've gotten good value out of here. Let's do some rotation. So maybe we sell out of some of those and we go into the safer big boys in the Dow.
Okay,
so that's part of what's going on.
Okay, so Dow's up 300. Hey, these big companies that everybody knows are doing great. NASDAQ's down a little bit. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna dump out some of my my .com stocks and go back into something that's bigger. And you could see where sometimes the technology is going to take off, sometimes it's going to wane. So you kind of see where technology is versus brick and mortar.
That can tell you. When the market gets to where we are right now, where we're very, very stretched on valuations and it's at all-time highs, less of this is clear. You get a little bit more of what we call leverage, where people can borrow against their own stocks to buy more, so they're not using their own
Right.
real money.
So,
They're
and
borrowing.
valuation is what the
Yep.
boys on Wall Street think that your company should be worth, and then I have to go ahead and meet their expectations. All right, let's move on.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
Yeah, because I don't want, because this is so.
No, we could
so
dig deep.
easy.
We
Yeah.
could dig deep. So you keep me online.
I'm going to keep you online. Okay. Next one is
good.
inflation,
Yes.
CPI. So we talked about this earlier this morning. Talk to me about what inflation means and what the consumer price index tracks.
Yeah, so basically it's measuring how much we're paying for stuff, right? So everything across the economy, anything from food to retail, our groceries, our eating out, all of that is what the CPI is going to measure. Now there's smaller measurements. You get rid of core, which is food and transportation, gas, that type of stuff. And so we measure it a little bit different that way. But overall, when you hear CPI, it's measuring the cost of broader goods across the whole country.
Stuff, right. Okay. Because again, there's a hard cost, like we've been talking about, the price of roofing supplies for some reason has shot up exponentially. So we're warning people, if you need to reshingle your house, do it right now, because you're seeing some big inflation in those. So that kind of brings that whole breadbasket of everything out there, minus your gas, which is going to be, spike, especially what's going on in Iran, and food. Okay. Now, here's the big question that I think people need to understand. I need to understand, if inflation is dropping from 6% to 3%, well, yeah, is that great? Well, wait a minute. I don't see that at the grocery store. Why are people still complaining that groceries, rent, and everything else is so expensive when we've seen, and we talked about this yesterday, Biden had, 21% interest or inflation going on. Trump's much smaller, but I'm still paying more.
Right. So what that means is, say we're measuring 3% growth. We grew 3% last year. Year before that, we grew 20%. Now we're growing at 6%. Well, it's accumulative, right? So you had 20% growth. We saw another 3%, another 3%. So the prices haven't necessarily come down. That's more of disinflation, right? The rate at which we're growing has come down, not deflation, which is, deflation means like you deflate a balloon, right? So the prices are actually coming down. So there's a mix of that. When what they measure is, hey, what are things costing on an ongoing basis? That they're telling us, oh, we're growing at 3%. Well, we haven't come back down necessarily from the 20 to 40%. The Big Mac hasn't gone.
We just stopped growing. I just stopped getting fatter, right?
Exactly.
So if I go on, okay, so let me see if this works. I go on vacation and I eat like a pig and I put on 10 pounds.
Right.
Okay. But then I come home and I'm just still eating, but not as much as I did when I was on a cruise, and I gained a little bit of weight. I haven't lost any weight. I just stopped gaining weight as much as I did on the cruise.
Exactly. Perfect example. So you've disinflated what your growth of your fat, right?
But I'm not going to get skinnier until I go on that diet, and that diet is when we start having a what?
Well, a recession a lot of times,
bingo.
Deflationary recessions are deflationary, and they can be good. Really, we need recessions every 5 years, but we've gone on this stretch where the government has been pumping money in for so long. They're artificially propping up the economy, and so
because
they're all proud that we're only growing at 3%, right? Ridiculous.
But when we have a recession, people lose their jobs.
Yes, and that's the negative side. The problem is right now you have 70% of the country that's struggling paycheck to paycheck. If we had a recession, they would benefit, right? So you got 70% of people that are struggling, and so they're already either working 2 to 3 part-time jobs. So if the prices start to come down, then they're able to make it a little bit better. So again, we need them more frequently instead of these big slam downs, every 10 years or so.
Right. But as a politician, oh my gosh, if I have a recession under my watch, I'm going to get kicked out of office.
Exactly. And that's the problem is the lifetime politicians become more motivated to stay in the office than they are to have a truly healthy economy. So they're just going to use our tax dollars to grow the economy. By every dollar of GDP growth, we borrow too. So is that really a growth? So.
And now you know why I'm a classical economist, because once you start let's be honest, during the Biden administration, we had modern monetary policy that just said, we're going to put more money in there and we're going to keep this sucker going by dumping as much money into the economy as we can. And that's how we'll keep everything going. But you see where, and that's where, people want to get mad at me, but that American Rescue Plan and that Inflation Reduction Act did not reduce any inflation. In fact, they made it worse because the economy was starting to heat up as we got out of COVID. People are coming back out of their houses. They're going back to work. We were ready just to take off. And instead of using regular gasoline, they put aviation fuel in the gas tank, overheated the economy, caused the inflation to go through the roof. This is all in the Biden administration.
Yep. $10 trillion in stimulus.
Yeah, just way, way too much. Inflation went through the roof. Trump came in, took out all the avgas, the aviation fuel out of it. Inflation's gone back to where it probably should be, not brought the prices down. So if you want to bring the prices down, people are going to have to lose their job in a recession, and nobody wants that. Boom.
Yep, exactly.
I should have studied economics in college.
There you go.
All right.
I love it.
All right, so we're going to do this. We're going to do this more often, Michael. We get a chance to kind of show people exactly what all this is. Because, again, like when I worked in sports, people go, oh, the QBR rating for a quarterback. I don't know what QBR rating is. I don't know what's the war for this guy. What's the value of a replacement player? There's so many of these things that we throw out there. I think it's good that we just every once in a while reinforce them. So thank you for this morning.
Absolutely.
All right. I'll talk to you tomorrow, bud.
All right. Sounds good. Have a great one.
All right. Take care. All right. We'll continue with you. It's News Radio WRVA. I'm Rich Herrera. Coming up, we'll take another look at traffic right here on the Voice of Virginia, News Radio WRVA.
Veterans Fire Protection presents Swing for Heroes, benefiting Tunnel to Towers Foundation, September 22nd at Hunting Hawk Golf Club. To secure your foursome, go to WRVA.com.
Grilling season is here, and Green Top Sporting Goods has everything you need to fire it up. Shop top brands like Rectech, Traeger, Big Green Egg, and Blackstone. Green Top, just off I-95, exit 86B, or online at greentop.com.
Here's the tale of the daily Medfill. Same old pharmacy, same old bill, but those prices kept rising higher still.
Till the savings wrangler rode in, cool as can be. Tap Good RX, saving massively.
No plan? Don't matter none. Up to 80% off. Deals are done.
Discounts.
So he never went on a diet, he just ate less. So he just didn't gain weight as fast.
All the rest. Save time and money on prescriptions.
Check Good RX. Good RX is not insurance.
In a recent survey of 123,000 wireless customers, Pure Talk was the only wireless company to receive 5 stars in every category: coverage, support, value, and data. What else do you need to know? Switch to Pure Talk today and get any plan, including their top shelf unlimited data plan for just $15 a month for your first 3 months. No contract, no commitment. Dial pound 250, say micro, and let Pure Talk's U.S. customer service team help you make
Alleviate your pain, rejuvenate your life. This pain right here won't go away.
I just felt okay. It's something I'm going to have to live with.
I just lived with it.
So I suffered with it for several years.
I felt like it was getting worse and worse.
I'm 46 years of age, so I did not want to get a knee replacement. And I was like, something has to be done.
You don't want to have knee surgery if you don't have to.
Once I found Rejuvenex, I feel 100% better.
It eliminated the pain.
All of a sudden I went, oh, wow.
I started feeling pretty good.
So now I'm back. I can walk.
I'm excited for myself. I can't wait to continue.
I can stand longer. I can walk longer.
I can run a little bit. I should say jog.
The pain just went away. It's just wonderful.
It's a life changer. I definitely would recommend it.
Rejuvenate your life.
Go to rejuvenex.com to schedule your appointment.
Hi, this is TJ Leonard from the Butcher Shop at Tom Leonard's. This Thursday, August 13th, our butchers have an incredible bargain to help you celebrate National Filet Mignon Day. Our Richmond famous whole filet mignons, $12.99 a pound. Steakhouse quality pork tender filet mignons from the best ranchers in the Midwest.
Say that on the air.
Exactly how you want it. $12.99 a pound. That's the best price of the year.
I would.
Wow. One day only. Thursday, August 13th.
When you have to do it.
Tom Leonard's and
say,
Short
okay.
Hope to see you here.
Are you ready to wipe out all your credit card debt or get money for that new kitchen or bathroom project? It's easy with Neighborhood Lender. Neighborhood Lender can convert your home's equity into cash in a matter of days. Hey there, Gary Hess here. With home values so high, you can easily get $100,000, $200,000, or even $300,000. Home equity rates
you
are
can
super
respond back
low
to them
with
saying,
Neighborhood
"Hey, I'm
Lender,
trying to keep
so
it."
you can use that cash to eliminate
You
credit
can
cards,
respond to
car
them on
loans,
the text
older
line
HELOCs,
individually.
anything. You can even keep your primary mortgage intact. With
I
Neighborhood
say I
Lender,
do
there's no
that
junk
because
fees, no red tape, no big
guests from
bank
rambling
runaround.
on and
Neighborhood Lender is
giving
fast
us
and
a
easy, and
dissertation
you
instead of
may
having a
not even
conversation.
need an appraisal. So do it now. Use the equity in your home to get on solid financial footing. Call Neighborhood Lender, 804-643-LOAN, neighborhoodlender.com. Get your cash now, 804-643-LOAN, neighborhoodlender.com. Equal housing lender, NMLS 69349, subject to lender approval, NMLS
You don't need to be
Consumer
an a-hole about it. You just say, well, you're
This
doing an
is the
interview.
story
Sometimes
of
the
the
guest starts
The one who keeps
getting
multiple
off in the
buildings
weeds, and
running
you have to bring
smoothly
it back
day after day.
to the subject.
Plumbing that flows, HVAC that hums, cleaning supplies that keep surfaces sparkling. That's why she counts on Granger. With easy reordering online and 24/7 support, Granger helps her keep the products she needs on hand. So shelves stay stocked and buildings stay ready. Call 1-800-GRANGER, click Granger.com, or just stop by. Granger, for the ones who get it done.
Traffic backed up? Call the Richmond Office Interiors Traffic Line, 474-0225.
All right, 9:19 here on News Radio WRVA. Let's take one more look at traffic from the MyInsuranceDoctor.com Traffic Center, the official insurance of News Radio WRVA.
Congestion slows northbound 95 between the Belvedere and the Brook Road exit. No problems 295 and 64. Watch for collision on northbound Chippenham Parkway at Iron Bridge Road. It's in the right lane. Collisions on East 100 Road at Dean on Church Road, Huguenot Road at Forest Hill Avenue, Hull Street at Spring Run Road, traffic light problem, Woolbridge Road at Otterdale Road. With traffic, I'm Kevin Casey.
All right, from the personal injury attorneys of Cravens and Old Weather Center, 78 degrees is where we are right now at Capitol Square. Today's high is 92. Wind gust up to